Yo, what's good? It's Mastermind MMA, and my fucking bad, guys. I was down at my house in New York. I left all my equipment in my house in Pennsylvania, and I stayed there a bit longer than I planned on. So, yeah, I would have brought my equipment with me, but I'm back now, so I'm gonna fucking crank out a whole bunch of videos. And now, I guess because I'm a bit late on it, I got to talk about some shit that is kind of old now, but not really. Yeah, man. So this video is gonna be about fucking Alexander Gustafsson. Like, straight up, I applaud that man for his performance on Saturday, because that was the fucking shit, dude. Like, he looked like a fucking beast, and Glover looked on point too. Like, Glover was looking good. And after Glover got knocked out by Rumble in 13 seconds and had his tooth go to fucking Mars, he came back, I think, against Jared Cannonier, and he played it really safe. So in this fight, I think in the interview beforehand, he was like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure we'll take it to the canvas. Like, it's gonna go." But both these guys are known for like standing up and banging. So yeah, so that's exactly what they did. They went to war. Not really war. I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to use that term. They had a good fight, man, because Alex was he was dominating that fight, and he was winning by a lot. He was up every round, and he got the finish. It was almost like Dillashaw Barrow when fucking he like clipped him up a bunch of times, and then finally in the fifth round he got the finish. So yeah, man, he looked fucking great. His technique looked really clean and crisp. And what I said before, someone asked me in the comments, I believe it was Benzene. I have to look. It was either Benzene or Silverback. I have to look back to that video, but I think it was Benzene. We were talking about DC and shit, and then he asked me, what do I think about like they were saying how Gus didn't use his reach enough and stuff like that. That's a criticism. So I was like, I mean, his fight style is really good, because he really emulates Dominic Cruz a lot. He went to Alliance, so their footwork is on motherfucking point, and he has like that kind of. You see, with Dominic Cruz, what he does is he has a whole bunch of fucking like algorithms running at the same time. It's like a motherfucking computer. He'll be like, all right, so I'm gonna have my head fucking going back and forth, swinging like a motherfucking pendulum while I'm switching stances, and then and while he's doing that, his like foot movement is like he fucking like comes in with his shoulders down, like he has his hands down so he could be fluid and roll. And the way he uses his feet, it's from whatever position he's in, like he comes in on, he can pivot out in any angle. He can get away. He can control the distance so perfectly because he could just angle his back foot and then go any way he wants. And he does that while switching stances and stuff. So like Gus really emulates that well. And because like Cruz, but the thing with Cruz is he has his 90-degree pivots so much more. Like Cruz cuts his angles in combinations with things, you know what I mean? He'll plan it with like a series of a combination and then switch that angle. And it's reactive too, so we make sure whatever his offense is, he can equally react to that. That's the thing Gus doesn't have down yet, and that's why Gus turns his back and runs. You see, he just wants to reset, and when he runs to the middle of the cage to reset, that's usually at that point, that's where you'd see Dominic Cruz like drop his hands, and he kind of like bounces himself off of the cage. If you watch his fights, you'll notice that he just fucking like bounces him, like he like pushes him, like he kind of makes it like ropes, like how people bounce off boxing ropes, and he does that, and he cuts the angle that way. So not just that, but that's like the sign you could see when he's doing it. So Gus doesn't have that down yet, so he's getting a lot of criticism for running. But I'm getting a little straying far away. So I said that he needs to control his footwork and his movement enough and know when to do it exactly and conserve it so that in the later rounds he can put it on when he needs to, because he keeps such a high pace. All that constant movement requires an extremely high pace, and in like the Jones fight and in the DC fight, it was that fourth and fifth round that he just needed to push that, like hit the fucking engine on the red line to get that. And that's what Jones and DC did. And he just barely got like by that hair. I said, if he conserves his energy in the right places and could burst in those later rounds, he would be a beast. And he did that a lot, dude. His pace that he kept was fucking great. It was amazing. And you know, he's got his like he doesn't emulate the same way as kind of how a Tim Elliott it's late as shit, guys, so my bad. Fucking Tim Elliott. Let me sip some fucking beer. Yeah, so the way Tim Elliott emulates Dominic Cruz, he tries to do exactly what Dominic Cruz does, but you really can't because you're not Dominic Cruz. But he does a pretty good job at it, and I think that's why he had a lot of success against fucking Mighty Mouse. But you see like how a TJ Dillashaw studied principles and made his own style. That's kind of what Gus is doing, and I think I was saying before in my prediction video, I said I want Gus to win. I really feel like he should win if he makes the right adjustments, but I don't know where his head's at, because he said he was like, you know, he's like, I might just fucking quit, you know what I mean? So like, you never know where someone's head's at when they say shit like that. So I was like, man, I want Alex to win, but I think Glover feels like he can knock Gus out. So he's gonna be fucking he's gonna really be swinging hard in the pocket, and he might catch him. So, and another thing is like, the criticism he got in the DC fight was, DC was he was letting the smaller man clinch him, or like, why are you clinching the smaller man? But I think that it wasn't that the smaller man was clinching or anything. It was just that he was the one that was being clinched. You know what I mean? Like, Daniel had control. He was the dominant one, and he had the dominant position in tie clinches and stuff. So in these exchanges, Gus was the one to really have it, and he made sure to like get out of the pocket a lot of the times, because that's where fucking Glover's gonna be swinging, and he will catch you. Glover's still a very heavy-handed individual. We can't forget that shit. So to do that to Glover looked good too. Yo, fucking, I'm pumped for Jones Gus too. Yeah, you guys know I'm a Jones fan. So, I mean, this fight, this is what I wanted to see. I would rather honestly see this instead of the DC fight, because, I mean, I'd like to see, the only, like, thing that makes me want to see a DC fight, like a rematch with Jones, is I want Jones to knock him out. I want Jones fucking decision streak to end with Daniel Cormier. I want that to happen. I need that to happen. Like, I needed that with Rumble, but that didn't happen. Rumble didn't knock Rumble didn't knock fucking DC out. So, I'm hoping John, like, and people criticize John, he doesn't get knockouts that much. So, I mean, I hope he knocks DC out. And with fucking, yeah, so but I'd rather see that after like Gus Jones too. But, you know, I hope John comes back quick so we could fucking see that shit. Like, he has a quick turnaround after DC, so we could see fucking Gus Jones too. So yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it too much, too much, because I want to do a lot of videos tonight, and I want to get them uploaded and shit like that. So yeah, you already know, it's Mastermind MMA.